Fights are back, and so are the different ways that we can make money while watching them. One of my favorite ways to make some money watching fights is Underdog Fantasy. It's daily fantasy, so you come in here, you say higher or lower than any of the numbers you see on the screen. You put a few of them together, and you can make some very real money. It's a ton of fun. It's super easy, and they will even give you free money to try. The only thing you need to do is go to wewantpicks.com/underdog. Use promo code WWP, get your free money, build yourself an entry, and then ride off into the sunset a millionaire. And while that's a wild exaggeration, the free money is not. Just go to wewantpicks.com/underdog, promo code WWP, get the free money, tip your toes in the water, give it a little test, and have some fun. I genuinely love Underdog Fantasy. So there are similar products out there doing similar things. Nobody is offering the amount of lines and options that Underdog Fantasy has, and it's those options and those choices that give us the flexibility we need to find our spots every single week. If you're hamstrung to just takedowns and strikes, that's a lot harder to do than if you have all of these other options. Let's go ahead and take a look at what I got going on. But obviously, wewantpicks.com/underdog, promo code WWP. You'll get free money. I'll get a couple of dollars for the sign up. It works for everybody. You see how easy that is? And actually, it's not easy because I got to do all this research and then record this video and give you the picks. But I appreciate you. WWP is that promo code. Let's go ahead and take a look. I've got a 3-leg entry here. I could get wild. I could stretch it out to 5. There's 2 that I love and then a third that I think makes a lot of sense, and I smack them together. Right off the rip's going to be Izzy. I think we can all agree that this fight likely goes long, right? It's a 5-round fight. I don't think Izzy's going to get stopped early. I don't think Imavov's going to get stopped early. So we're going to have a fight that's going to go for a meaningful amount of time. So if we scroll our way down, we look at fight minutes, 24.99 fight minutes. That's basically saying it's going to a decision. And it's 0.82 times your money to go to a decision. So that's the favor. I don't feel as comfortable saying it's going to go to a decision as I do with saying there's going to be some good amount of activity. So I'm going to go higher on the significant strikes here. 92.5 may seem like a lot. But if we zoom out, if we look at Israel Adesanya's last fight, where he lost in the 4th round, so he had a full 7 minutes left of fighting, he landed 97 strikes. In the 4th round, he had 97 strikes. If we go back to fight before that, he got past this number as well in the full 25. And if you run through his fight history, he has plenty of fights where he's getting past this number, and later in his career, he's starting to pour it on. So while 90-something is a scary number, given that I think most of this fight is on the feet, and given the fact that he has gotten there in his last couple of fights, I think he gets there again. He just lost in the 4th round, was taken down 4 times, gave up many minutes of control time, and still got past this number. I think he does it again here. So we're going to go ahead and add that to our entry. The next one that I love is Michael Venom Page for the exact opposite reason. 60.5 significant strikes is an astronomical number that makes no sense. Somebody at Underdog Fantasy messed up. Somebody messed up. Take a wild guess how many strikes Michael Venom Page landed in his last fight, which was a decision. The answer is 21. He landed 21 significant strikes in his last fight. 21. You know how low that number is compared to the 60 they have here? Let's go to the fight before that, right? The fight before that, he was putting on a showcase. He seemed busy. There was a lot of activity. Full 15 minutes of striking. 41. 41 strikes. He has gotten nowhere near this 60 number. I think this number is crazy. I think the lower on that makes a lot of sense. If we work our way down, I'm not going to touch Shara. Shara is a very interesting, kind of unreliable guy. And if we do the lower on significant strikes on Venom, I mean, he can get knocked out in half a second. We'll still get paid there. If we end up doing the higher or the lower on Shara, then there's a couple of factors that need to play into this, which I don't want to do. Jairzinho Rozenstruik is a guy that I think can win this fight. I love him as an underdog here. 18.5 significant strikes is a very low number, but he's kind of a low output kind of guy. If I look at his last couple of fights, yes, he landed 91 in his last fight, but that was a full decision. He landed 127 in the fight before that. That was a 4th round finish. So let's zoom out a little bit more and look at some of his other fights that would be more applicable to this situation. Chris Daukaus, only 12 strikes. Alexander Volkov, only 6 strikes. Curtis Blades, only 18 strikes, 16 against Augusto Sakai. So this is, while a very low number and the higher seemingly makes a lot of sense, I'm going to avoid it because I'm a scaredy cat and anything could happen in this fight. 18.5 is a very low number. Sergey is a bit scary. I do think Jairzinho wins. You know what? I'm going to add it. I'm going to add it, but just listen to the words. Don't come here all angry if this misses. I already have an entry built. The entry I have built does not include this one. I'm going to add this one just to see if we can double down and make a couple of bucks. But it is a tricky number. That's the only other number on here that I was very seriously considering. If you look at Vinicius Oliveira, too many factors in that fight. He's taking on Said Nurmagomedov. Too many things could go wrong. Too many things could be weird in that fight. It could go full 15 minutes. It could be super quick. We're going to leave that alone. Sergey Pavlovich, 5 fight minutes. They have that at even money. I'm going to leave that alone because I think Jairzinho wins. And if Jairzinho wins, he's going to slow the pace of this whole thing. He's going to stay on the outside. He's going to counterstrike. And he's not going to get into a firefight that ends quickly. So we're going to leave that out of there. If we scroll our way down, Terrence McKinney is not a guy that you can trust. Muhammad Naimov, while he should win by finish. He is a guy that has had a lot of weird asterisks next to his wins. A guy broke his leg in the middle of a fight. He had like 10 penalties between eye pokes and genitalia shots. He's had a lot of weird situations that we'll just go ahead and leave off the table for now. If we go to Jasmine, 1.5 takedowns. She should get 2 takedowns. That higher should hit. So let's go ahead and add this here. Again, I have another entry I'll show you. This is more of a let's really let it ride kind of entry. If we take a look at Mike Davis, over 1.5 takedowns, I like that as well. Mike Davis has had 14 takedowns in his last couple of fights. 14. All he needs is 2 here against Faraz Ziam, which I do think he gets. And then obviously Jasmine, 1.5 takedowns. All she needs is 2. She's a nonstop, diehard wrestler. The only reason I didn't put her in my initial lineup, I did have Mike in there. The only reason I didn't put Jasmine in the initial one is, while I do think she gets the 2 takedowns, Mayra Bueno Silva's coming down in weight. Her cardio is not fantastic. Jasmine's not a finisher, but she did just finish Ariane Lipski. It's possible Jasmine spends a good chunk striking, gets 1 takedown, maybe finds a finish. Unlikely though, so we'll go ahead and add this in. Let's throw $20 at this entry. That 20 is going to give us 151 back. 151 back. That's a wild payout. And that includes a miss. That's the flex payout. If I said I'm going to ride or die and I know how this is going to go, that $20 gets me 300. But I'm not stupid. We're sticking with the flex pay. Let's go ahead and lock this in. And I'm going to close this out. We are going to go to the live to see the entries that we have built here. The first entry that I built was just the 3-leg. These are my 3 most confident here. We got Mike Davis higher than 1.5 takedowns. I mentioned he's got 14 takedowns in his last couple of fights combined. Michael Venom Page has never even looked at 60 significant strikes, let alone thrown and landed 60. Those 2 are my most confident. You can just run with those 2. The Israel Adesanya is my next most confident with the 92.5 significant strikes. He's gotten past that number in his last couple of fights. His last fight, he was taken down, pushed around, held down, and finished in the 4th round. He still got past that number. I think he can here as well. If you're just looking for super safe, the first 2 is the way to go. If you want to let it ride, turn $20 into $150. Well, we have Jasmine higher than 1.5 takedowns. We have Jairzinho Rozenstruik higher than 18.5 significant strikes. We have Mike Davis higher than 1.5 takedowns. We got Michael Venom Page lower than 60.5 significant strikes, and Israel Adesanya higher than 92.5. Guys, this is my entry. If you love this entry, great. If you like any of these entries, that's great as well. If you don't, that's fine too. Just get your free money. Free is the key word. WeWantPicks.com/underdog. Promo code WWP.